Hey everybody, Mike Fragnola here. Just wanted to jump in and say I know normally we come out on Fridays, but today we came out on Saturday. The Swoon Tower house got a new roof, got a new hat on its little body, and recording was not possible on the day that normally we would have recorded to make this happen for a Friday release. So thank you. Apologies. We love you. Here's the show.
The presenting sponsor of Moon Tower Soccer is FVF Law.
To find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm, you can visit fvf.law.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Swoon Tower Soccer. I'm Steph Cragnola.
And I'm Mike Cragnola.
And we are all about the boys.
Yeah, we are.
Today we've got our Matchscot of the Match interview, some fit checks, match moods, goal Celly's, plural.
Let's
this
go.
Week.
We did it.
Oh, we did goals. Our social media standouts. And then we've got Anna Maria Liu from St. Louis City St. Louis City to talk about to do our opponent spotlight for this weekend. And then we'll finish it off with the man in my jersey.
I'm so excited, Steph.
Same.
I want to know, how are the vibes?
Vibes are high.
I want to know, how did you not just jump straight into the very last match mood?
Because we have an outline for a reason, and the reason is to follow that outline, which means we're going to start with our Matchscot of the Match interview.
But how handsome was he?
He's so handsome. like unreal. Like, it's unreal. It's not fair to mortals.
And of course, we're talking about Semper Fi and Oorah. Let's get straight to the interview.
Okay, we are here with Semper Fi and Oorah. I've got a question for Oorah. Which Austin FC player is the bravest? Good answer.
All right, and my question is for Semper Fi. Semper Fi, I want to know, are you verde hasta la muerte?
Oh, we love to hear that. Can you give us a listos verde? Thank you. It would be alarming if those dogs haven't been adopted yet. Hopefully, Danny, if you're listening, or Catty, if you're listening, don't let Danny adopt those dogs. He was so excited at the media day meet and greet.
He was too cute in those pictures, but we know Mikey's his speed.
Yeah.
Let him keep the cat. Don't fall into the trap of adopting a dog again.
Even though they're so perfect, I wanted to fall into the trap of adopting them because they are the cutest. You heard Oorah. He had a lot to say.
So adorable.
I love him. 1 million puppy yawns out of a million.
Oh, so cute.
I love them.
So sleepy.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go into another thing that we both love here very much.
Another cute thing.
Yes.
Well, this week, honestly, I'm going to say it. I was disappointed.
Disappointed? That's harsh.
Yeah. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Wow.
It was like t-shirt week. You know how like Great British Bake Off has a theme week? The memo went out to the group chat and they said, hey, wear a t-shirt. And Diego Rubio said, I'm going to do one with buttons and a little embroidery.
Diego and Danny both said no.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because Danny was in a like black button-up black pants.
Yep.
Danny looked sharp.
Oh, and Usman also
Do you think
refused the t-shirt.
We're going to talk about
Of course, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. It was still a t-shirt, but we're going to talk about it.
It can't be.
Do you think that Danny changed from the wedding he was at the night before?
Yes, only because I've seen pictures and Danny was wearing a white shirt the night before.
Okay.
And is wearing a black shirt the next day.
Well, he looks like he could be going to a wedding.
Yes.
So I was just asking.
Yeah, no, it's a good shirt. He should probably reuse it for 4ATX Gala this year.
With a green blazer?
I mean, if you follow the rules, apparently.
I am going to go right out and say it. I don't know if I can say this on the podcast. I could see a lot of nipples this week.
Well, you just
Landon,
did.
can I say that?
It's too late. It's out
Because
there.
it was t-shirt week. There were so many nipples.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad.
It was cold.
By
It
Dad, I mean
wasn't.
Landon. Mike is squinting at the pictures right now. I assume
different
trying
picture.
to see nipples.
No, you don't have to squint to see them. It was clearly chilly in the walkway here. But you know what? I want to talk about a fit that I do really like.
Okay. Now we can talk about Osman Bukhari,
We have to.
Guy Fieri, Osman Fieri.
How dare you? They're oranges. That's not flames.
Yeah, but it looks like this red and orange, aggressive red and orange looks like a Guy Fieri shirt.
It looks so soft. Like the fabric looks so soft. I am so jealous. I'm not wearing it right now. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I want to be wearing this incredible button up.
I don't know if I want you to be wearing that. I think it looks great on Bukhari.
Yeah, I don't think I could pull it off, but I want to wear it.
Overall, mid fits this week. So if we could step that up for our next home match, boys.
I
Please?
will say, I think the most surprising thing this week was CJ's pants with the little dots on them, matching the shirt and shoes. It's like a full blue and white look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good job, CJ. Like, I don't think we say that enough about his fits.
Know if I would say it.
See?
So I'm glad you did. I will say Owen Wolf looks like a model. Like, some people can wear a black t-shirt that probably costs $200 and look like it costs $200. This is one of those pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Owen and Izuni with the plain t-shirt style awards of the week here.
Yeah. All right. One last note. Julio got a new toiletry bag.
Yep.
It's blue.
It looks like a trapper keeper.
It does look like a trapper keeper. I was gonna say it looks like a notebook. Like a notebook folder.
Yep.
So maybe he's a journaler. Maybe since he wasn't starting, he was doing a little journaling. What do you
Oh.
think he was writing? Dear Diary.
I hope I
I
score.
wish I started. Dear Diary, let's see what Guilherme Biru brings to my spot.
Honestly?
Well, let's use that to get into our match moods.
Yeah. Like,
Starting with Guilherme Biru. I was pretty impressed. I know this isn't Moon Tower, so we're not supposed to talk about it, but I love that guy.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
You know who I don't love?
Uh-oh. Who?
Andrew Wiebe. I don't love how much Andrew Wiebe hates dogs.
Wow. Do you think that's what it was?
Yep.
I was giving him the benefit of a doubt that, like, he's busy.
He had time to talk to the armadillo.
I mean,
Man.
we did too.
Yeah, but we talk to dogs more. And if we had to pick,
Oh, certainly.
like, would we talk to the armadillo man and not even the armadillo itself? Or would we talk to a puppy?
You're right.
We would talk to a puppy. So, Andrew, you messed up.
You're right. But he did get to meet a legend, and so he was probably flustered. Meeting Alistair McAllister.
He met Alistair after the opportunity for the dogs.
I
You're
don't know
giving
his
him too
life.
much credit. I watched. I
Oh.
could see the times.
You were creeping.
Yeah.
Next time he comes to Austin, don't let him dress like he's going to Dallas.
It was something.
It was Dallas Buyers Club meets Anchorman. Like,
Yeah, whoever photoshopped the Anchorman meme and him into it, it's perfect.
nailed it.
You know what I do love? Let's turn this positivity train around.
Here we go.
Susan Post from Bookwoman. I know we talked about her a couple months ago, or maybe at the beginning of this month, a couple
Yep.
episodes ago. But she got to do the heartbeat this week, and that was so wonderful. I loved it. I loved seeing her out there. I love supporting local independent bookstores.
Yes. I loved how excited she was too. It felt really cool and neat.
Agree.
Yeah.
You know who else is excited?
Oh man, is he ever?
This was probably the most entertaining matchup I've ever seen in Q2, which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
the energy that both of these combatants brought, the dedication to
Mhm.
craft, the love of their crest.
The pure stamina,
Yeah.
the fight,
Incredible.
honestly, admirable. I don't have it.
No, me neither. And you know what? This was a draw that felt like a win.
Yes, it was. We had our very own Verdisimo versus our very own
Friend Greg.
Greg is in the section next to us, and sometimes if I look over and I don't see someone dancing, I get very concerned because Greg is the supporter section in 108.
Yeah.
Like,
so
he is a single man supporter.
Yeah, in section 108, you can look over 90 full minutes and you will see a man, hands in the air, singing every song, yelling, having just the most energy in the world. The only one in the section sometimes.
And he doesn't let that stop him.
Never once.
It's
doesn't
incredible.
care. He's
honestly.
the best. Greg, keep it up, man. You are killing it out there.
And so on Sunday, Verdisimo went up to his row, and there was a lot of pointing and a lot of singing and a lot of arm waving at each other.
Flexing.
Oh my
the
God.
whole nine. I mean, it was like they were cutting promos.
It was so good.
It was incredible.
I love it. More of that, please.
Yes.
If
it doesn't end with Greg like suplexing Verdisimo in the center circle, like what are we even doing
What
here?
are we even doing here? Speaking of what are we doing here?
What happened in the second half?
I don't know. I don't know what happened in the second half. I'm glad that our friends Peach and Profe were sitting next to us because sometimes they would yell things and then I would remember that there was a game happening and it wasn't just 40 minutes of Julio warming up right in front of us.
Yeah, but everyone else has talked about the game already. No one else has talked about Julio warming up.
Yeah, it was really nice. I like watching warm-ups. Not necessarily for the reason that the Handsome Boys Modeling Football Club friends do. Also for that, but not solely. I like seeing the relationships build. I like seeing who's watching the supporter section, how they react to each moment of the game. The like excitement, like you could put any of their faces and reactions on anyone in the stadium and it's like they're feeling the same things we're feeling, and it's so cool to get to watch them experience the match from the sidelines. And also to see the intensity with which each of them warms up. So
or
like,
lack thereof.
Exactly. So it's just like really fun to get to watch them and the dynamics down there. And one of the things that was the funniest part of getting to watch them is I didn't realize how short Hader Obrian is until something we'll talk about a little bit later. The keeper coach and Brad buddy comedy video on socials. At the end of that, Hader stood next to Brad, and I was like, what? Because I only see him next to our other, like, short kings in front.
Sure, yeah. The attackers on the team, not necessarily the tallest players on Austin FC, huh?
Right. So when I was watching him down next to Julio, it was equally funny, especially because obviously they have, like, 200 pink pennies that they just, like, rotate all of our subs through. And I'm calling this the duality of my pajamas.
Yeah. That makes sense. Basically, like, they must be one size fits all.
Yes.
This is what we've learned because of how it looked on Hader versus how it looked on Julio.
Y'all remember me talking last week, right before Jeremiah talked about rubbing bellies. I was talking about my uniform, my pajamas uniform that make me look like an old Italian nonna. That's what it looked like on Julio, except he was much more handsome than an old Italian nun. Oh, sorry, that's how it looked on Hader. He is much fitter than an old Italian nonna, but he basically was wearing the uniform.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if it's hot, or just, I don't know, a random day, I have like a little like bralette that I wear. It's like crop top. Goes to like the top of my waist. That's what Julio was wearing. Now,
same penny,
same size. It just like my little bralette or my Italian nonna
uniform. Yeah, this is like, I've got a picture. I'm gonna share it on socials when we release the episode because it's just incredible. It's so good.
I love it.
Steph.
All right, I'm
Can
ready.
we finally talk about it?
So I got a very out of the blue text that I was next up to be the man of the match drum holder for the next home game that we won, which is something that like is really kind of overwhelmingly surprising to me, because I didn't know that was a thing that was like that had a list or had a like I had no like idea of the process. And so to get that note was such a cool feeling, and just obviously I want to win every game, but then I was like over excited.
Yeah. Can you walk our listeners through kind of like a little bit of insight into that process? Like what you've gathered through that experience?
I mean, it just sounds like folks in supporter section leadership are looking out for people who make a positive, impact on the community, I guess.
Yeah. So, it sounds like each supporters group gets their own like turn.
Yeah.
Right. And so La Murga gets a turn, and Los Verdes gets a turn, and Anthem gets a turn. And so like every supporters group that's associated with the club gets kind of put into this like cycle.
Yeah.
And so I assume each of them has their own criteria for
Right.
like how you become part of this rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really neat that they like that you ended up on that list.
Honestly, like it's very much very appreciated to like to have that honor. Honestly, like it was very cool, and something that I never would have like even thought of as being a thing that like I could or would ever do. Like that wasn't something I had even considered, even when we are always in the supporter section for True Love. Like it's not even something that like crossed my mind.
Yeah. So if you're a person who's listening and is like, oh, I want to hang out and like maybe one day get to be on the drum for the man of the match ceremony, and you're not in a supporters group, like that's step one for sure, right? Like start getting involved, start doing things with the community, start building your connection to in Los Verdes, we have a concept called Fútbol y Comunidad, right? And so if you focus on more of the comunidad work, like I think that's the sort of thing, at least with that supporters group, because I know you're super involved with that stuff. So like I imagine that those are the kinds of people that are getting put forth onto these situations.
Yeah, it was cool.
How handsome is Brandon
He's so
Vasquez?
handsome. Oh my God. And it was so funny. So just the I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know. I was just like practicing holding a scarf over my head for 2 weeks. And
International break for everybody but me, she said as she held that scarf out.
It was just such a crazy experience looking out at the supporter section, even mostly like filtered out. The concentration of people in the center still there to sing True Love is so overwhelming standing on the field level. Like I can't imagine what it feels like for players in the match while they're singing like full I have very bad words for this because it was so overwhelming emotionally. But it was so cool to get to look up and see everyone there singing, and just the passion in that group of people like is so tangible on the field. And then everyone kind of filtering in behind me. It took everything. I also shout out to La Murga. Those drums are heavy, like heavy. That thing was it was heavy. But like I wanted to keep turning around and watch what was happening behind me. But I couldn't do that because of the heavy drum, and also because I didn't know what the rules were about turning around. I assumed I wasn't supposed to. But I did hear when Brandon was walking up, someone who was sitting behind me yelled, "Don't F it up," at him. But they used the full word that I'm not allowed to say on this podcast. And he was like so nervous. He was maybe more nervous than I was to hit the drum. And he kept like asking questions. Alfredo was like, "Oh no, I'll tell you what to do. Like it's 1, then 2. I'll hold up fingers." He did, but like still, Brandon was like, "Okay, 1, then 2, 1, then 2." Like he clearly was rattled. And also, like, you could just tell, like, he was exuding not frustration, but like you could tell that I don't think he thought he should have been man of the match. I think he thought if he had scored 3 more goals that he could have scored, because he had a couple close ones, like, then maybe he would have felt worthy of being man of the match. But this strikes me as a guy who probably is never going to feel worthy of something like that. Like, he holds himself to such a high standard that it seems like that's like he'll never be fully satisfied, you know?
Yeah. The post-game interview that he gave with Weeby was about how, like, yeah, it was all right, but like I could have and should have done better.
Yes, exactly. that was the energy coming off of him.
And he did so much good work in the
know.
match. Like, everything that wasn't the 2 misses, right? Like, everything else, so good.
Right.
Like, dog, you scored a goal and you did everything else you did.
Yep. Agree. But he was very kind. He has an incredible smile. He's so handsome, like too handsome, honestly. And then, yeah, everyone asked me how he smells. Negligible. I don't know. I have a pretty good nose. I smell a lot of things. But I couldn't like smell him. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't do a good enough job. I didn't do my job. Yeah. They sent me down there to investigate, and I failed.
Yeah, you're never getting man of the match.
I failed all of you.
All right. Speaking of our man of the match, it's time to talk about goal Cellies. And first up is that Brendan Vasquez goal.
Oh, my God.
So it's far away from us, which is a bummer, but also great for the North End Pirates and like everybody over there. So glad that y'all got to see it. We were squinting. But what we saw live was the goal and then him like kind of running toward the side, and that was all I could see.
Lots of screaming, lots of fist bumping.
Yeah, he did the Superman pose. I did see that in all the pictures after. But the camera cut away on the feed.
Now, here's the thing.
Before we got it.
Can you imagine? Like, I said this to you off air, but in a league of, 600 professional athletes, you're the one they call Superman.
Yeah.
Like, my guy. The fact that the stadium announcer, when he announced the goal, said El Superman.
Yeah.
Incredible. Iconic. Incredible. 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Because it is specific. It is unique. It is something that he is known for. He has created that, like, whether it was someone, calling him that to start, he has owned it and he has put it into his unique goal celebration. That's what I want. It's not a 10 because it's not a flip, but it is beautiful.
Yeah, I give this high marks because of the scream. You could tell the tension like really released. And so I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay.
I like some of his other celebrations where he ends it in a Superman better, but I think we see that as he develops here and like gets some of that off his back a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Like once he starts banging them in all the time, I think we'll see a 9.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm holding out only because I know he has and will do better.
Okay. Then we had John Gallagher, who did his finger to his temple, which I think is an amazing, beautiful tribute to his friend.
And you always have.
And I always have.
Yep.
He hugged Owen. He did a lot of screaming too. But then the thing that really sent it over the top for me is when he was running back down the field, he turned and looked up to the family section and did heart hands to where I assume his wife and baby were. So sweet. I'm going to give that an 8.5.
Yeah. This is an 8.5, Celly, for me too. You know what? It's a 9.5, Celly, for me. Because of the Owen hug and then the post-game conversation.
Post-game, that does. Yeah, that ice back. Thank you, We Are Austin TV, for this incredible bit of journalism.
Yeah, so it turns out that John Gallagher and Owen were talking about this exact opportunity in an ice bath while watching video together earlier in the week. Man, it'd be really great to be able to capitalize on one of those. And then it happened. Like, that's a 9.5 out of 10 hug.
Yeah, no, you're right. I forgot about the ice bath.
How could you never forget about the ice bath?
No. All right. Run through our social media standouts.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's keep this train moving.
I already talked about the Brad and Keeper Coach buddy comedy video on social media. I really loved it. It was super sweet to see Brad get some airtime. He's a great social media character. Like, he's a person, but, you know, he has such a good personality for that. And I loved when he called out not just Ashley, but Diego Rubio.
I like that they were on, like, in the same space in his brain at that moment, right?
Now my wife knows what I do all day. Also, this is for Diego Rubio, who doesn't think I do anything, or doesn't think keepers do anything. They just stand there. Incredible.
Yeah.
Iconic. No notes.
Yep.
10 out of 10, Brad.
Yeah. Speaking of 10 out of 10s.
Oh, yeah.
This week we got a still of Owen and Ilya holding hands and, like, running into practice of, like, it looked like imagine me and you and you and me. Like, that's the vibe, right?
Yep.
Oh, so good.
That was a day before, like, not the day before, but like a day before, we got another training video and Ilya was running in with Danny. And, like, I don't know what they clearly had planned to scream something at the content team at the same time.
I didn't pick up what it was.
Yeah. I don't know. Someone,
but
if
it was very cute. If you know what they said,
let us know. We do know what Diego Rubio said, which was stay humble, and pointed at Svatok.
Yeah.
Like, is that because he's coming back from international duty?
Yeah, he's an international superstar.
But I did see Svatok smile at
Yes.
it, and that was nice.
It's a pre-programmed smile.
I also want to shout out again Brad Stuver and his commitment to throwing his gloves at the content team.
For content team.
This video, he was hiding behind Steph Cleveland and just popped out to throw his gloves.
Well, he can't hide behind hot air.
Mike.
It's true.
Oh.
It's like Steph Cleveland, Julio, maybe Sabovich.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna talk about Julio now. It was Julio's wife's birthday.
Happy birthday, Jessica.
Happy birthday, Jessica.
Come on our show.
We love
for
you.
your birthday.
If you are interested in coming on this show, if anyone listening has a direct line to Jessica, let her know that we would love to chat about her. I say that like that's not what I want to talk about. She's fascinating and so smart from her social media profile, so I do want to talk to her. But she did post that Julio made birthday dinner and dessert. What a man. What a guy.
Also, happy birthday to Micah Burton. Who,
do you think Julio made him dinner and dessert?
I was going to say I think he made his own, and it's probably chicken nuggets. I just remember what I was eating when I was 18, 19.
Yeah?
Yep.
Was it chicken nuggets?
Yep. Dino chicken nuggets. I mean, that's true until I was like, now.
Yeah. I would love chicken nuggets right now.
All right. Tell me about this one, Steph, that you have a note on. So
we got a post today. A triptych of photographs of Danny Pereira, with the caption that said, "Yeah, there's no explaining this guy." And in one of them, he's just body slamming one of the defense inflatables.
Yeah, I don't know, Steph. I don't know what to tell you. You looked at me like I had an explanation.
No, I just loved it.
You see those. Is that not the first thing you want to do to them?
I've never seen them.
In the Brad
just in the pictures?
In the Brad and the Keeper Coach buddy comedy video.
But I wouldn't ever try to like body slam him.
Oh, that's like the first thing I wanted to do on that inflatable thing. I think it's just like a thing that you have inside you or you don't.
I guess I don't.
And like Danny's living all of our dreams right now.
I mean, some of our dreams. I just said I don't. You know what I did have though?
Well,
a slam man. That's the one that
What?
lights up and you punch it. Technically, it was my dad's, but I used it a lot. It like is a man, and like it lights up on different parts, and like so it's like a light on its chest and you punch its chest, and then a light on its like face and you punch its face, and then it's like stomach and you punch its stomach, and like it goes all over its torso. So
I really wish everyone had a video of what was just happening in this podcast recording space.
You just gotta like feel it. That's what I would want to do to those guys. I would want to slam man them, but not to the ground.
I want to give massive props to the social team this year.
Yes, they are doing great.
They are becoming truly unhinged, and I am here for it. Apparently, I heard a rumor that on Twitter they posted the Anchorman clip where Ron Burgundy says, "Go F yourself, San Diego."
No. Did they?
That's what I've heard. I
won't go
I'm
on
off
X,
Twitter.
So...
Yeah, I'm off Twitter, but like that is the report.
Oh
and
my gosh.
so like
Tell them to put it on Blue Sky.
honestly, skeet that. Let's go.
Okay. So yes, celebration for the time that we've had with the content team this year. Also another celebration of time. That was a great transition. I'm so proud of myself. It's Jimmy time.
It is Jimmy time.
Jimmy started for Liberia twice on this international break. And the first match we talked about last time, he almost got a goal. But this time, he did.
That's
and
right.
He did the Jimmy time, Celly. 10 out of 10.
That's right. Yeah, definite 10 out of 10, Celly, for this one on Jimmy time. Also, it was the first senior Austin FC player goal scored in a match that actually matters.
Okay. All right. I just want to shout out the North End podcast this week for giving credit where credit was actually due, for Julio Cascante scoring an international goal in a friendly for Costa Rica, and also to Owen Wolf for scoring a goal at the U20 World Cup.
Yeah, but they weren't... Okay. That's fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Jimmy time.
You have a good one for this?
Vroom! That's the sound of motorcycles.
Oh, no.
Ilie Sanchez has been partaking in the MotoGP, which is probably the most European thing that he could be doing in Austin, right? They love the fast motorcycles, and our guy is down there looking at the fast motorcycles, meeting all the Spanish racers, and just like hanging out in the paddock, living everybody who likes the fast motorcycles life. And I think that's really great.
Dang. Danny's living body slam dreams. Ilie's living fast thing dreams. It's a lot of dreams.
It is a lot of dreams. And sometimes
Dreams end.
Sometimes dreams end. And honestly, I think these last two bullet points here are important reminders that, like, our players are humans, right? And they form connections wherever they go. And so this week, I saw on socials that Mikael Dessler's wife and Leo Vaisanen's wife went out together for a goodbye dinner. Leo was sold to Häcken in Sweden, I think. And like clearly while he was here, he was a member of the community within Austin FC, and his family was a member of that family community. And it's probably like, it's something that I assume people are like, yeah, this is what happens when you're a professional athlete. But also I think it's got to be really hard when your friends leave.
Yeah.
And so just a reminder that, like, people are going through that kind of stuff.
Right.
And speaking of stuff that people are going through, right?
Yeah.
Svatok, Alexander Svatok this week has come back from international duty representing his country and posted tonight while we're recording this just a reminder of what's happening in his home country of Ukraine while it's still under attack by Russia. And it's just a really, it's got to be so hard, right?
Yeah.
To leave your family and your country after being there and representing them on the international stage and come home where this isn't a thing that everyone around you shares
Is
in.
constantly right.
And so if you are going out to St. Louis this weekend, shout a little extra for Alexander Swatok. If you see him, let him know that his community here is behind him.
And even just like this extends to social media as well. I think it's such a positive community builder for so many players, whether they acknowledge it or not. Like a lot of them see comments, a lot of them see if it's a reaction to a story or a DM. They probably won't see it because it'll go to a folder where my invitation to Jessica is sitting for this podcast. But so much of that online support, like they see the public comments especially, and it just is nice to always keep that in mind, to surround our boys with positivity and recognize how much they're going through, even just as humans day to day.
Yeah. Well said.
You want to take an ad break?
Yeah, let's do an ad break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back with the interview, talking to Anna Maria.
All right. SWOONTOWER Soccer is brought to you by our friends at FVF Law, the official injury lawyers of Austin FC.
FBF is a different kind of personal injury law firm dedicated to community, transparency, and client education. And they have their own podcast called Summary Judgment. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts.
You can go to fvf.law to find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm and why understanding your legal options can dramatically change the outcome of a case. Once again, that's fvf.law.
Our premier sponsor is McGuire Woods Consulting, helping clients in the public affairs space from lobbying at the local, statewide, and federal levels to digital and communications campaigns across the country.
McGuire Woods Consulting has offices in 10 MLS cities, but only advertises on this podcast because it is the home of the Austin FC best team in the world team.
Nailed this one.
Thank you.
So strong.
I'm so proud. Contact our friends at McGuire Woods Consulting at www.mwcllc.com for more information. Once again, that's www.mwcllc.com.
You did it right, Stephanie.
Thank you.
We have Anna Maria Liu here from the City SC Report, cityscreport.com, to preview our upcoming match against St. Louis City SC. This was going to be a Sunday 1:15 kickoff here. We are coming off the back of a Sunday match that worked out pretty well for Austin. And so I'm not going to put too much stock into it, but Sunday seems to be a good day for the boys.
Yeah, it's still kind of early. I'm excited for the match. I'm excited for a different reason, which is Austin has never won against us. We've drawn one, and we have won 3 times, but you guys have never won.
It's true. It's true. This year, we have a few different looks from years past, both internally and on the field. And I think that's half true for St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk through some of the changes in the offseason?
Yeah, so we picked up a lot of different players, a lot of German players at the end of the last season. And I think we can both say that both of our last seasons were not what we wanted.
Certainly.
We both ended up, I think, in the bottom 4 of our conference.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't
both
great.
Austin, yeah. So that's not great. We fired our longtime coach. We had an interim coach, and then we hired this past November our current coach. So we've had a lot of changes in how they're doing things. I think that the style of play is completely different than what we've seen the last 2 years. And it's been really fun.
Yeah, and so tell us about your new coach, Olaf Melberg, right? Is that?
Yeah, that's right. So actually it was kind of interesting because I attended our first practice, which was like 20 degrees outside. which is something that you guys don't have to suffer through that often. But it was 20 degrees outside and I froze my butt off out there. But one of the things that really made an impression on me was the players were talking about how he had come in before the preseason. And they were like, he hasn't talked to us at all about tactics. He hasn't talked to us at all about training. It is literally just trying to get to know us and how to motivate us and how to like work and how we tick and that sort of stuff. And I thought that was really cool. So it seems like he's got a much higher stress on our defense, which he's really built around between Berkey and Kessler, although I'll get back to Berkey a little later because he's actually out right now. But Henry Kessler has been like this phenomenal like piece on defense for us, and it looks so much better than it did last year.
Yeah, and that's center back Henry Kessler, right, from New England Revolution, now on St. Louis.
Yes, and we love him here.
Yeah, I have loved him ever since he got a yellow card for clearing a ball into the stands and then stealing the goalkeeper's ball behind the goalkeeper and throwing that one into the stands. Yeah, I am a big time Henry Kessler fan. Dude's a gamer.
That is so funny.
And so, yeah, I've been following his career with interest, hoping for him to become a free agent and come to me. But that's fine.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's an incredible YouTube highlight. Definitely recommend looking it up.
I will.
Find a still of it, get him to sign it. Like that's.
So let's talk about how those big moves are playing off in the season so far. It seems from a national perspective that yes, defense is doing well, but who's going to score goals, who's going to create chances, is the temperature of the national media. How does that compare to what you are seeing game to game?
I think it's accurate. We've done a really good job of preventing people from scoring. The first goal scored on us this season was this past game against Philadelphia. Otherwise, like, we're really good at defense, but we haven't created too many opportunities to like actually get the ball into the goal. I think that it will be better. We've had a couple of games where we've been able to, we scored 3-0, we scored 1-0 so far this season. So we have a couple of games where we've actually been able to create those scoring opportunities. And when you look at the stats, it looks like we should score more often than we do. We're just not quite getting there yet. I think that it's going to be a very interesting game because one of our major players is out due to a red card last week, and that's Edward Leuven, who was red carded in the last game and will not be playing this Sunday. And he's usually someone that we use for our set pieces. He's someone who has a lot of assists, also scores a lot of goals for us. And he is going to be out because of decisions that he made the last game.
Yeah. Something that I think for me as a non-fan of St. Louis, right, who like knows of the league in general, Edward Leuven seemed like the guy last year, right? And then in the summer window, St. Louis brought in a bunch of players, and it seemed like it was expected that he was going to kind of slide back into the kind of deeper into the midfield. Is that like
that's
how it worked out?
I've heard, but I don't really know exactly what the plan was. I have loved our new players like a lot. Those are the players that I would say like you actually have to watch out for in this upcoming game because they're the ones that are going to be able to create those scoring opportunities and do things. And that's Hartel, Basher, Toyshirt, and yeah, the three of them are like my favorites right now just because of everything that's going on. I feel like last year, Leuven and Celio Pompeo were our probably our best players that we had. Like consistently looking at their stats after match days, they were doing the best on the field. Celio Pompeo had his horrible injury like midway through the season last season, and watching that live was horrific. But he's back now. And I think they're starting to rotate him in a little bit. And having Leuven out, though, I mean, he's still been a major piece, even if he is taking a little bit more of a backseat to some of the newer players that we have in.
Okay. I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Who this weekend is going to touch the ball ever? Because if you look at the last few matches, Austin FC has been like 25% percent possession, and St. Louis has not been much higher. So is anyone going to touch the ball based on your expert opinion?
I don't know. They might just stand around and wave their hands and do nothing. Both teams, who knows? I think that's a really good point, because it's going to be interesting to see who actually will try to take control in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be World War
I don't really
One.
know.
Everyone bunkered back in their defensive halves, just
Yeah.
like looking at
The
each
Christmas
other.
Day standoff.
Oh my gosh, that's
They
too
played a
funny.
soccer game there, right?
Yes.
So they might have had more goals scored and more possession in World War One than we might see on Sunday.
We started off the season this year like really trying to keep possession, or it seems like we did, and then that just changed. But also we started playing better and chances started coming together a little bit more when we fell back. So I'm just really curious to see if that's like a strategy that St. Louis shifts or that Austin shifts, and who is going to, if it becomes both teams trying to take possession and then we see the opposite problems. I'm so curious what do you think is going to be the move from St. Louis?
I think that you guys are going to take more possession than us. I think that
Okay.
that's what's going to happen, even though it's a home game for us. And I think that our possession's a little better at home games. I'm not sure. That's just, I mean, it's only a couple games in, but
Yeah.
I think we've been more consistent with our play style over the past 5 weeks. It has been exceedingly defensive, and I don't really see that changing for this game, versus you guys, as you said, have had a little bit more changes happen during your games. So
Yeah, I am fascinated. It feels like in 2025, Nico Esteves has been really tailoring each match to his opponents, right? And so
Yeah.
we played a team like LAFC who never wants the ball, and we forced them to have it for 68% of the match, right? And then we came in and we forced San Diego to play wide when they want to play through the middle. And so if that happens, what are the things that St. Louis is trying to force Austin to do?
Whoa, that's a really good question. I'm not sure. And part of the reason why I'm not sure is because since we have Leuven out and since Berkey has a hand injury, I'm wondering if maybe we will see a little bit of a shift and not rely on being as defensive as much, because with Berkey out, particularly this past match, we lost, and it was same game plan as like previous matches, but we didn't quite have that. I mean, Ben Lund is fine, but he's not Roman Berkey, like
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing. So I don't know. I feel like Olaf Melberg has talked a lot about doing the same thing and trying to adjust how we play to our opponents. But I haven't really seen those sorts of changes yet, because it's still so early, and this will be just his 6th game with us.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we love a new coach.
Yeah.
The vibes around a new coach are always so fun. What has been the mood difference between Bradley Carnell and Olaf Melberg?
This is gonna be a silly thing. This is a total fluff thing.
Perfect.
I know.
Welcome to our show.
I know so many like female fans who just think that he looks like a sexy lumberjack.
I love this.
It is a thing. Like, if you're,
yeah, I see it.
Yeah, like that just looks like a sexy lumberjack. So that is one of the main things that sticks out to me about Olaf Melberg. On the more like serious side, I think the way that he talks about the game is a lot different than Bradley Carnell. Cornell was positive when he sometimes shouldn't be. I'll put it that way. Like if you listen to his like pressers and you see how he answered his questions, it was always, I don't want to say too upbeat, but it was just kind of, there was always a positive spin on whatever was happening. And Olaf Melberg has consistently in the pressers been like, no, this isn't good enough. We're going to work on this. You know, like it's been a lot more critical of how they are doing as a team. That's been kind of interesting to see because it's just a different mood than like our past coach.
Yeah, for sure.
We've had a lot of similar movement in just like the press room vibes around Nico Estevez versus Josh Wolf. Like there's so much more. I mean, we're like bringing puppies to training and Nico is taking pictures with them. You know, Josh Wolf would never. Like there's so much of that happening that is so far outside the realm of like actual coaching, but makes such a difference in the entire like city vibe towards the team, because like new dads are gonna bring a new energy. So is that something that you've seen in St. Louis shift around the fan base as well? Like, yeah, he's hot and people are feeling better about this season, or
I think we're feeling a lot better about this season. It would have been hard to go lower than we did last season. It would have been pretty hard to do that. But we're starting off a lot stronger than we did last season for sure. And part of it is because there is like a style change. There's a dynamic shift, all those sorts of things. I thought it was funny that you brought up the puppies because one of our sponsors is Purina. So they always have like dogs at games and stuff. It's pretty cute. I think we'll have more information by the time of our next match for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited about it. I think other people are pretty excited about it. People like that he's a little more no nonsense. And there were rumors that Cornell created a toxic locker room environment. So it doesn't seem like that's the case right now. I don't know if you caught the end of the very last game that we played. Klaus almost got into it with Cornell because Cornell is now coaching.
I heard about this after. Yes. Yeah, the striker for St. Louis. Did you tell the story? I've only heard about it.
Apparently, João Klaus basically went and like kind of bumped into him and like was getting in his face. So
had some words.
Probably.
There was like concern in the national media that João Klaus may be like disciplined for this. Has anything come out for that?
I haven't seen anything for that. Leuven got disciplined for the red card, but I haven't seen anything for Klaus at all. No, I haven't seen anything.
Okay. And then speaking of the players in the locker room.
Oh, sorry. No, I just Googled Klaus versus Cornell and I'm seeing still
Did he
pictures.
Get disciplined?
Huh?
Did he get disciplined or are you just seeing the pictures?
I'm just seeing the pictures of it.
Yeah. It's it was pretty intense.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So, João Klaus aside, who are some of the key players to be looking out for, and what makes them kind of the people that you're focused on this weekend against Austin?
Okay. All right. So since you like players that cause a little bit of drama, Simon Betcher is like one of my favorites right now. I don't know if you saw the clip from, oh gosh, which game was it? I think it was against Seattle Sounders, maybe. It was one of our home games, but he got into the goalkeeper's like face and was like basically taunting him and going back and forth. It's a really, really funny little clip. But if you like players that kind of do silly stuff like Henry Kessler in that story from earlier, this was like absolute gold to watch because he wasn't doing anything outside the realm of the rules. He was just making it very, very obvious that he was taunting, you know, like because he was inside of the goalkeeper and mimicking every move that he did basically when they were setting up for something. So it was fun. I like him. I like his energy. I think he's helped create some of our scoring opportunities so far. So that's a good thing. Henry Kessler, Big fan right now. Still one of my favorites because like he just keeps things from going to the goal. They just can't.
That's important.
I know. Well, I mean, like I watched some of the earlier games where we just like we didn't score, but like they also didn't score. Berkey could just sit back there and twiddle his thumbs because Kessler was just stopping everything. So that's he's probably my favorite right now. And I know like last time that I answered this, I think
You
I
were
actually
big
answered
on Celio last
I
year.
was, and then
Yeah.
he injured himself.
Yeah.
So he's still working his way back. And it's really depressing for me because like I really like his kind of like dogged style and how he just like gets in there and seems to be having fun and just like causes little commotion and then gets out. And I don't know, I miss that about him. I'm kind of anti-player to watch would actually be Xiao Klaus. I feel like he hasn't meshed in well with the changes that we've made.
Mm.
And I feel like he's not creating opportunities, taking opportunities, or making himself available in the ways that he should. And I still think that the team is in this, like, at least from some of the past couple of games where he has been on and playing, he's not started, I think, the last two. I feel like there's still like the team wants to pass to him to score like every single time instead of looking for something different. And so I've noticed that when he's out there, he's just not making it happen. And I feel like they need to maybe rely on some of our other players more than just him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess so. If Joao Klaus isn't starting up top, who is for St. Louis this year? Because like in our history, right? It's that gigantic man just beating up our center backs.
Our center backs are fragile and we don't have a lot, so I'm kind of glad to. I hope it's someone gentle.
So I've actually really liked a trio that together, which is Hartel and Betcher and Toy Shirt. I like the trio of them together. I feel like they work well. And I mean they're not all like up front, but it's still just like they work together to make opportunities. They work together to actually score. They are just fun to watch together. So that's kind of like my trio that I've been like promoting, that I'm just like, can we just start them and not start Klaus? That would make me very happy.
So yeah, I guess vibes wise, how many goals is St. Louis going to score in 2025?
Vibes.
And then we can check in on the return leg.
Okay, let's see. How many games are there in the complete season? I can't remember off the top of my head.
34.
34. I knew it was 30 something. Okay. Let's see. We're 5 in and we scored 4 goals.
That's what it looks like here.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a low scoring season, but I don't think we're going to have very many losses. I'm going to say that we're going to score. I'm going to say 38. I'm going to say it's a low scoring season, but we don't have a lot of losses. I think we'll have a lot of draws. I think we'll have some wins, but they'll be like low scoring wins.
And this weekend, what's going to happen?
Oh, we're going to win.
Wow.
Home game. And we had a good track record with you guys. I'm going to be optimistic.
Yeah, that's true.
Anna Maria, thank you so much for coming on and giving those predictions, even if we don't like them, and giving us some fun things to watch out for this weekend. I am really excited. I didn't know this whole like confrontation happened, and it is all I can think about now. So I'm going to be doing some video sourcing of that, and it's just so dramatic. They're so dramatic, and I love it. I hope that that happens again this weekend, but
we're on the good side.
Yeah.
Anna Maria, thank you so much for your time. Tell our listeners again where they can find all of your work and follow you and promote the good things that you're doing.
Yeah, so I contribute to City SC Report, which is cityscreport.com. I also contribute occasionally to their podcast, and I'm on Blue Sky as Anna Maria Liu.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. And we will see you again later in the season. Hopefully happy.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much again, Anna Maria, for coming on. It was great to get to catch up with you after the off season, after getting to chat with you last year. So we're looking forward to this weekend, and we hope we win.
Yeah, we're going to win because we have to win. Otherwise, we won't go 32-2-0.
Yeah. All right.
Steph, I just remembered with this next category, man of your jersey.
Yes.
How do you feel about Ilie Sanchez wearing his former teammate's jersey on the field at Austin FC after the game?
I have zero feelings about it. I think this kind of goes back to our last point, is that these guys have friendships and have like relationships beyond the pitch, that being able to like share that space. You know what is my feeling about it? It's disgusting, but like that is a not, I think, what you're getting at. I do think it's vile to put on someone else's sweaty jersey. That is revolting to me, but
especially when you can see their skin.
Yes, but in the sense that you were actually asking about, I have no feelings from it, because like I think that it's nice to see these guys keeping relationships. If we had lost, it might have been weird, but like I don't know, I don't think it's a bad thing.
That's fair.
What do you think? You hate it.
I hate
your
it.
face.
Yeah, I do hate it. I think the captain of your club should never wear someone else's jersey while they're representing your team.
Is it because of being sweaty?
No.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't have that strong feeling.
Yeah. If he had put it on his shoulder, if he had put it backwards or inside out, totally fine.
Mm.
And that's what a lot of them do.
Okay.
I was sad to see it. But ultimately, I still love Ilie so much that I'll forgive him.
Yeah, he forgives all and must be forgiven.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be more Ilie-like in
Yeah.
my day-to-day.
Yeah, I get it. All right. You ready for the man of my jersey?
Yeah.
It's Owen Wolf.
Heck yeah.
I think, don't tell Brandon, I do think Owen should have been the man of the match on Sunday.
Maybe
I think
that's why Brandon was so upset.
Because it wasn't Owen? Or
Yeah.
because he knew?
Yeah, maybe he knew.
He knew that I didn't think that he... Do you think I give off that vibe?
I don't know. You should ask him.
Oh, no, I already sent him a DM that ends up in the folder about coffee that is in the same folder as Jessica's invite to this show.
Wow. Steph's all up in everybody's DMs.
I just told him I think he'd really like Proud Mary.
Wow. Sure. And then did you tell him when you would be there?
No.
If you wanted to split a cup?
I didn't, because it's South and I would never go there. Sorry.
Y'all, thank you so much.
South Austin.
We really appreciate you. As always, please rate, review, subscribe. Tell all your friends about us.
Please.
Tell your friend named Jessica, who is married to Julio Cascante, about us. Tell your friend Jessica, who is not married to Julio Cascante, about us.
Shout out to Jessica Luther. I love you.
Oh my God, me too. She's the best. Did you see that she recorded did a live version of Burn It All Down this week?
Yes. Everyone go find it.
Yeah,
on
honestly,
the internet.
If it's not on the internet, find someone who recorded it and give it to us.
Yeah. We love you, Jessica.
Yes.
And we love you, everyone listening.
Yeah.
Thank you
Bye.
for being here. Oh, bye.
I will marry Chewy's
Yeah.
because they love Chew Boom Boom sauce.